Now, we are very happy to have in studio with us tonight to talk more about this program. It is Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Uhuru Kenyatta. Thank you so much for making time to be here.
You're welcome, Julie.
A critical program.
Yes.
Intended, of course, really to help raise the status or to improve the lives of the people, really, of the country. I mean, people hear economic stimulus program, sometimes it's about improving people's lives.
Yeah.
How has it impacted so far on, let's say, Mama Mboga, you know, our Juakali artisans, our farmers, you know, what's the impact so far?
I think what we need to, first of all, take note of is what was the thinking behind the economic stimulus program. And really the thinking was, one, we were just coming out of, at that particular time, a difficult period within the global economic environment. So we needed to really stimulate our economy to sort of get ourselves back as quickly as possible to the 7% that we had achieved in 2007. We also were dealing with other challenges that we thought Kenya was faced, and we had the drought situation, so we really had a very large food component. We also had an issue that we saw surface during the elections, one of regional inequalities, so we thought that we would also be able to try and target that as well. And also, Julie, to try and focus ourselves on what you might call engaging our youth, because we also felt that our youth really needed to be engaged, and we needed to develop a program that was more labor intensive and that would really deal with intergenerational inequalities, as we would say. So that's really the thinking behind it. We have spent a lot of time developing the framework. We've had a lot of success, for example, in fish farming, as you've seen. We had projected to do about 200 ponds in 140 constituencies. We're 50% there. Right. That's really largely engaging the youth. We've had good success also in the agricultural component.
Irrigation.
The irrigation,
right,
where we had targeted 14,000 hectares under maize. We are now in the second season of planting planting maize. We had targeted about 20,000 acres for irrigation under rice. That we have even surpassed. We are now doing about 30,000. So good success is there. The area now that we're beginning to focus our attention on is the areas now of building of the health centers, the markets, the centers of excellence, the Juakali sheds. And there again, we're a little bit delayed, but we thought, again, given the overall framework that we were developing, we wanted to involve local communities. We wanted them to identify for themselves where these programs and projects would be.
So it's not something that could be done overnight?
It's not something that could be done overnight, because we believe that it's better to be slow and have a framework that can go over time, that we can even extend into a new financial year.
Let's talk about, you've talked about the maize and the success in agriculture. And you know, it's been a success, and it's so sad to have to say there have been problems down the line in terms of post-production. How was it failure to see that there was going to be need to address this faster and set the systems in place? Where did we make the mistake? How do we ensure next time it doesn't happen?
I won't actually say mistakes were made. I think basically we're victims of our own successes, because part of the program was also, you know, to give seed and fertilizer to farmers. None of us really expected the rainy season to continue also. So we not only had areas under irrigation, but we also, as a result of the program that we had of supplying seed and fertilizer to farmers, also had areas where we weren't expecting such a bumper crop coming up. So I think just going forward, all we're saying is that we would need to increase the amounts of money available. We would need to increase the ability of getting our own private sector to be out there purchasing.
So it's not just about government coming in.
It's not just about government.
Where are the other players?
Everybody has to sort of play their part. But really, I don't think people expected the crop to be of the size and magnitude that it was. So it's a good thing. And I think going forward, all we need to know is that we now need to remember that we're not only going to depend on our 2 rainy seasons. We're going to be producing maize throughout the year, and we really need our millers and everybody else to be able to appreciate and understand that, and to be able to fill in the gap.
Let's talk about the ministries that have had a challenge in actually achieving the targets. Which ones and why is that? And you may want to be politically correct, but sometimes it takes a little bit of a kick to get some movement going.
To be honest, Julie, and I want to be very frank, I don't think there is a single ministry that has not put its all.